Hey there. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite directors of all time, actually. Right up there with Hitchcock and Orson Welles and Charles Lawton. And a little bit more prolific in some ways. He's still around. He's still making movies. And for a while there he was the guy that made 100 movies without losing 1 cent. And of course we're talking about Roger Corman. I love Corman stuff. From early on, right up to now. He's more of a producer now. Roger Corman doesn't direct a lot of stuff now, and I haven't seen some of the newer stuff. I'm not sure those Sharknado. I'm not sure if he did those or not, but those are some of the cheesy Corman style stuff. And he was influential on a lot of directors, and he brought up a lot of people. I mean, like a lot of people came through the Corman factory. Guys like Francis Ford Coppola got their starts with Roger Corman. Actually filming his first film, Dementia 13, while he was making a Roger Corman film. And kind of like snuck off to use the camera to make his own film. Anyway, we're going to look through my Roger Corman DVDs. I'm sure there's stuff I got left out because he's done so much stuff. But here's some stuff that I got, anyway, that I could find. And up first is the Roger Corman Collection. I picked this up at HMV about, a year or two ago? This one?
About a year ago.
About a year ago. Well, their half says a year ago. So, anyway, it has Premature Burial and X, the Man with the X-Ray Eyes. Of course, there's a Roger Corman interview on Premature Burial. That was a movie that actually my dad found extremely frightening when he was younger. Well, when not a teenager, but when he was like, I guess in his early 20s when he went south with Hazel Court from the Hammer movies is in this one as well. And it's just a really good movie. The whole idea of being buried alive, a lot of people, that's a fear for a lot of people. Well, I can't imagine it's kind of like a good thing for anybody. Oh, gee, buried alive is awesome. But next up is Bloody Mama with Shelley Winters and Bucket of Blood, the classic original, not the remake with Anthony Michael Hall. I don't know exactly Michael Hall, yeah. But this is the original with, of course, Dick Miller, everybody's favorite. Perennial Roger Corman star. He's in everything. If you watched, God, so much stuff. Dick Miller was, hell, he was even in Beverly Hills 90210. I'm pretty sure he was. Of course, the next one up is two different ones, the Young Racers and the Wild Angels. And this was, of course, in the whole time of like the whole exploitation with the fast cars, and we can get back to that again with the Fast and Furious stuff. But this was kind of like the genesis of this stuff. Mark Damon here, who went on to like produce his own stuff and become a great producer of his own. We have Camels working on that. We got the Wild Angels, and with this one we got Peter Fonda, Nancy Sinatra, Diane Ladd, Bruce Dern. I mean, that's the one hell of a cast. This is like he's a writerish cast. And don't forget, Jack Nicholson got his start with Roger Corman as well. Speaking of the weird ass stuff, Gas and The Trip. The Trip is one of the freaking movies that Roger Corman did. Gas is just Gas is not that good. I'll be honest with you, but it made money, so what the hell, right? But The Trip is a Roger Corman film written by Jack Nicholson. Yep, good old Jack, and starring Peter Fonda, Susan Strasberg, Bruce Dern, Dennis Hopper, and oh my God, it's supposed to show you what an acid trip is like, and does it ever show you what an acid trip is like? Well, movie acid trip. It's so freaking weird. Next up is one that was remade over and over again, and that is one of my faves, Piranha. And of course, the next ones coming up are all going to be some my Shout Factory stuff that I got that really proud of. The Piranha one, if you haven't got it from Shout Factory, by the way, get it. It is amazing. Of course, this is the original Piranha. The Piranha was made again in the mid-90s with Punky Brewster star Soleil Moon Frye and a very young Mila Kunis, way long before that 70s show and The Family Guy. Anyway, the original Piranha was a fun, cheesy-ass film. Bradford Dillman was the star of this one here, and of course the beautiful Barbara Steele. And who plays the mayor in this one? Dick Miller. Gotta love him. Next up is one that is highly underrated, and I really love this film. It's a trippy-ass cool film, and not in the trip way, but in a kind of a real kind of. It's actually got some scares to it and it's a sci-fi movie. It's a different type. Galaxy of Terror. Galaxy of Terror was a movie. Now, it was produced by Corman, not directed by him. It's actually directed by Bruce Clark. And it had some really cool stuff in it. There's some really nice stuff. Edward Albert's in this one. Ian Moran from Happy Days. Roy Walston, of course, who was My Favorite Martian. And basically, people, Sid Haig's in this one as well, I think. And they go into face their fears. And great stuff. And even Zalman King would go on to make Red Shoe Diaries acts in that movie as well. Next up is Humanized from the Deep. Basically, they want to kill your animals and rape your women. It's a fun movie. Like always, Shout Factory put some great stuff in it. They, of course, the original, one of the other titles for this movie is Monster. So Shout Factory is actually nice enough to give us the Monster thing as well. That's pretty cool, huh? Art. I should change that around. But the girl's too cute. I can't do it. Next up is Tracy Lord's film that actually let her go legit at a time when porn stars could not get too legit in films unless, you know, you're working with Cronenberg. Not of This Earth. It's a fun movie. It's kind of cheesy, and of course, Tracy Lord was she was not naked in this film, which is disappointing to me as a child who just watched basically growing up on Tracy Lord's like pornos and stuff like that. Because yeah, I was like a teenager, and of course, so loved the movie. But the first time I saw it, I remember being slightly disappointed when like, come on, you gotta go listen to Bathing Suit. You're Tracy Lords. But no, she was teaching us that she was a respectable actress. Respectability sucks. Big Bad Mama and Big Bad Mama 2. I've mentioned this one on my channel before, and I really like these movies. The second one is not so much a sequel as a reimagining before reimaginings were really around. The first one, of course, has some really cool stuff. Some great actors. We've got, well, great actors in a relative term, if you like these guys. I do. William Shatner, Tom Skerritt, of course, Angie Dickinson's the star of this one here. Noble Willingham, great one. Dick Miller, the beautiful Sally Kirkland. Great stuff. And went on to the next one. We got the next film here. We got Robert Culp, Bruce Glover, Julie McCulloch from, of course, she was in Playboy, and got booted out of. I think Julie McCulloch may be the actress that was in. What's it called? Growing Pains. Yeah, I think she was in Growing Pains, and because Kurt Cameron was such a pious religious asshole, he got her canceled from the show when he found out that she had done some nudity before. Yeah, what an ass. And one more actor of note in here, if you're a genre sci-fi horror fan, is Jeff Yeager. And Jeff Yeager you will know as one of the stars of the series V. Next up is a cheesy cult classic by Corman, and again, it's a lot of these. Some of these aren't actually written, well, they aren't directed solely by Corman, but they're produced by Corman, and Corman has like a great hand in everything it's done. And this is the 2-disc collector's edition of Stair Crash. Stair Crash is a fun film, and of course we got Joe Spennell, who of course would be in Maniac. In this one here, we have Carol Monroe, who would be with him in many things. David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff's story. My better half grew up totally in love with the guy from Knight Rider, and she thought he was like it. So she's watching, years later, she's watching Baywatch, and it takes her a while to put together that it's the same person. Yeah, she was pretty horrified, but she got over it. And unfortunately, I'm not David Hasselhoff, so she had to trade down there. Next up is the Slumber Party Massacre Collection. He produced these, and it's a little bit controversial on some of these here, because the director said that some of the stuff he did, she didn't want to do, because she wanted the first one to be more of a parody of slasher films than an actual slasher film. But I think the movies turned out probably better than she would have originally planned the movie to be. Of course, Slumber Party Massacre 2 is a complete satire parody. It's throwing basically its finger at the whole genre. It's making fun of Friday the 13th. It's making fun of Nightmare on Elm Street. It's very cheesy. It's very over the top. It's very, you got a guitar playing driller killer that when I hear the songs, I just can't get them out of my freaking head for days. And the third one is it's pretty shitty, but I like it because I'm like slasher films. And Maria Ford's in it, and Maria Ford is hot. It's a given. She's freaking hot. She's Maria Ford. So, next up, this one, I don't think I've watched this one all the way through. Crazy Mama with Cloris Leachman, who was a favorite of mine from way back in the day when I'm watching her doing oh God, don't tell me I'm not gonna remember. It's the Last Picture Show. Yeah, Last Picture Show. And The Lady in Red. And why did I want The Lady in Red? Well, one, it's not a bad fun movie, and two, it has one of my big crushes from the Dynasty era. Pamela Sue Martin was the first one to play Fallon Colby on Dynasty for a nice few years before an English actress took over for. Yeah, I know, it's kind of different. Anyway, Robert Conrad's in that one as well. Christopher Lloyd's in it, Louise Fletcher, and Pamela Sue Martin is nude in this. But that's not why I got it. Action-packed collection. 3 cool movies. One of these was actually a TV pilot. Georgia Peaches, The Great Texas Dynamite Chase, and Smokey Bites the Dust. They're basically car chase movies. Georgia Peaches has Tanya Tucker, the country singer, in it. And, everybody was like hoping that Tanya Tucker would make a film. Especially one with Dirk Benedict, the guy from the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica. Now, I bought this for the Great Texas Dynamite Chase with Claudia Jennings. Claudia Jennings is a beautiful girl. Unfortunately, she passed away at a very young age. I never got to really get out there and fulfill. She was just a really, really beautiful girl. It's sad. But, yeah. Actually that bums me out a bit. And of course, you already saw Premature Burial on there, but also Mask of the Red Death. He did the Poe movies with Vincent Price and Pit and the Pendulum, another favorite of mine. And we're going to end this one off with some great Vincent Price, Roger Corman films. We have Theater Blood and Madhouse, which are 2 of the most underrated of the Roger Corman films, and I love them. Love them, I love them, I love them. I especially love Theater Blood, because I had a huge crush on Dana Rigg. Still do. Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rise Again. Classic films, being remade now, the Dr. Phibes movies. Tales of Terror and Twice Told Tales. One of those was one of my t-shirts. And of course the last one, The Witchfinder General. And Witchfinder General is a fantastic film. Roger Corman did so many films. I could go and probably find a bunch more in my collection, but those are some of my favorites, some of the ones that I watch over and over again. Shout Factory does the best stuff for Roger Corman. Go and pick up some of Roger Corman cheesy ass stuff. It's really fun. Shout Factory is such a great company, and they do such good work with that stuff. Roger Corman is one of my favorite all-time directors and producers. And yeah, I put him up there with the big guys because you know what? He launched so many careers. Whether advertently or inadvertently. You know what? Roger Corman's highly underrated. He's starting to get his props now. That's really good. Some that's really underrated, and I gotta give him props right now. I met the guy. I thought he was really nice, and that's Lloyd Kaufman. That's for another video, though. But again, thanks for watching. And right now it's time for tea with milk because I'm out of my latte. Thanks, guys.